This is step 8 of the pillowcase. Okay, we just straightened up our sides. You'll notice that they're nice and even on both of our sides. We are now ready to do the last couple of steps. First, what we want to do is we want to make sure we're putting pretty sides together. We want our seams to be on the inside of the pillowcase so that the outside of our pillowcase is nice and pretty. What we want to do is we want to line up our hem and our accent. So we want to line up those seams just as closely as we possibly can. We are going to put a pin in there. If you've been sewing straight, you're going to work your way up to the top and put a pin in on that side. We're going to just work our way down the side. This should match up exactly. It should be perfectly straight. Your pins are going to be approximately a hand width apart. We're going to work our way down to the bottom of the pillowcase. Now we're just pinning two sides here, and we're just going to be sewing two sides here. Okay, we're going to take a look at this once we've got it pinned, turning and rotating across the bottom right here. Okay, now that we've pinned these two sides, we are going to sew using that 1/4 inch seam allowance across the side and across the bottom. We don't need to sew this side that has the fold because it's already connected. If we sew across the top right here, there's not going to be a way to get your pillow into your pillowcase. So we are only sewing this side and this side. You only sew raw edges. We are going to line our pillowcase up on that outside edge of the presser foot, and we are going to work our way 1/4 inch all the way around. I would highly recommend that you get your needle in the down position because we will be pivoting. We're going to sew 1 or 2 stitches, back stitch 1 or 2, and we are going to work our way across the bottom of our pillowcase. Remember, the machine is doing the work. All your hands have to do is guide the fabric. As we're working our way along, the needle is going right over the pins. We're not having any problems. As we reach the other side and we think we're 1/4 inch, we leave the needle down, we lift up our presser foot and pivot our fabric. We work our way up this side of the pillowcase, keeping it at that outside edge of the presser foot using that 1/4 inch seam allowance. You can go as fast or as slow as you want, as what you are comfortable with sewing. The important thing is keeping that seam straight. Allow the machine to do the work. All your fingers do is guide the fabric. We want to make sure that we're sewing through all of those layers. We get up to the top, we backstitch 2 or 3 stitches, get that needle up, and this is where we want to check just a couple of things. We're going to pull out these pins. It's very important that we get all of the pins out of our project so that as we take it to the serger, we don't end up with pins over at the serger. Pull all of these out. Now what we want to do is we just want to double check this edge. These seams should be matching up perfectly. If they're not, that's okay. If they're a little bit off. If they're really off, that's where we want to reassess and maybe double check things. As part of step 8 as well, we do need to serge these 2 edges. You only serge where you sewed. Do not serge your top, do not serge your fold. Just where you sewed. Now when you're serging, it's a simple straight serge. You want to line up that seam that you just sewed. There's a little notch, a little divot on the top of the presser foot right here. You just want to line up right there. You are not cutting off any fabric as you are serging here. You just want to keep that seam lined up with that notch. This is just to clean up those edges so that they don't fray. Your serging should not extend over your sewing line. So we're working our way across. Now this is a bigger project than those samples were, so make sure that your fabric's not getting tucked up underneath or you will want to cry. We're working our way across that long edge. We're serging all the way off, leaving a nice long tail, and then we're going to do across the bottom. We want to keep that lined up with our edge right there. We're serging across. No fabric is getting serged off. The machine does the work. All your hands are doing is guiding. Again, make sure that nothing is getting tucked up underneath. And we're trimming off our serging.